The STEP program, it is a federal program managed by the Small Business Administration. It provides grant to US state territory to assist businesses with export development. The bullet points on this slide are the category in which you can spend the funds. You can participate in foreign trade shows, designing your international marketing products and campaigns. You can use the funds for your website globalization, adding all the e-commerce capabilities and plugins you might need for your website, paying for services provided by the US Department of Commerce, the US Commercial Services, and participate in trade show exhibition and training workshops. As all of the programs that we'll discuss today, there are very clear eligibility. These are the eligibility for the state of California. Most states have the same eligibility, similar eligibility, but make sure you check with your state the eligibility section first. So first you have to be a small business. At the bottom and in the resource section, you have access to how to locate your industry code and the SBA size standards to determine based on your revenue and number of employees if you are considered a small business. You must operate and register your business in the United States. You must be in business for at least 1 year at the time when you apply for the grant. You have to be in good standing with the state of California. You can also be a sole proprietorship as long as you are recorded with the county in which you are operating your business. Your products must have at least 51 or more US content. And in the resources, we have listed the formula. And I think I have it on this side in one of the next slides as well. There is a formula that can help you determine if your products are or not 51% of US content. You must have sufficient resources to export. And basically this means you have to be ready for export. You understand what other costs are related to exporting and global expansion. And you must be a for-profit organization, business. Here's the formula I just mentioned. You basically take the factory price of good, you subtract the aggregate value of contributed by non-US or foreign sources, and the remaining is your US content. If it is over 51, you qualify for applying for the grant. At the bottom, you can see there's also this grant apply both to products and services. And that's pretty much the same way you calculate the US content of your services. So now I'm gonna give you examples. I'm gonna take 3 states to show you how you could use the funds if you are in California, for example. California uses the funds. So the program is funded by US Small Business Administration. State of California is matching some of the funds, and they are administering the program in the states. They have 3 main services: trade missions, the organized trade mission, trade exhibition, and the program we are going to talk about today is the individual company export promotion support program. It is currently open for activities to be completed between October 10 through December 31st. So if you are currently working on an export promotion activity, we'll get to the slide that shows you how you could use the funds for California, and you're able to complete those activities by December 31st. That means you are eligible to apply today. The California program will reimburse you. So it is a reimbursable grant. You have to spend the money first, complete the activity, and then submit a reimbursement report. And you'll be reimbursed for up to $5,000. So here are the 10 qualifying export expenses. Again, you can find these in the module. You have this slide in the module. I just want especially for the e-commerce space companies, I would like to bring your attention to number 4, website translation, search engine optimization. You could put your entire $5,000 into SEOs, localization services, which means a lot of things, market fees for your cross-border e-commerce, adding other e-commerce and internationalization plugins for your website, social media marketing campaigns directed at segments of overseas buyer segments, which basically means you have to be able to give the STEP office an analytics report that your social media campaign was directed for your foreign markets of interest. I work with clients who put their entire 5,000 in social media ads. Cost of compliance would apply to you for e-commerce space as well. International IP protection up to 1670. So some of these expenses, they cap at a certain amount. As you can see, IP caps at 1670 in California. Fee for shipment of sample products caps at 4,000. Number 8 also apply to e-commerce, design of marketing media. So designing your social media ad, designing your landing pages for your ads would qualify, and you could use the entire 5,000 for this particular category. Number 9 is it's a new expense added this year. You could use the funds to cover the premium on an export credit insurance. We'll talk about that when we are in the ICEP modules. If there's any other export initiative that you might have in mind for your internationalization, all you have to do is clear communication with the STEP office, and most likely you would be pre-approved for that. Let's take a look at New York. New York program is managed by the Empire State Development. Right now, the funding period is open, has started on September 30th, and will conclude next year on September 22nd. So if you're located in the state of New York, go ahead and apply for the grant as soon as you can. You're actually, the award in New York is a lot higher than California. It is up to $14,000 per funding period, but the reimbursement is based on 70% of total eligible cost. So you'll have to spend $20,000, complete the activities, and then apply for reimbursement for the $14,000, given that you were pre-approved during your, after you submitted your application. Here are the export expenses for New York. Some of them are different, some of them are similar, so make sure you do check the list of eligible activities in your state. You have website content and foreign language translation of website in foreign languages, localization, SEOs, development of your international marketing campaigns, social media platforms, building website, anything related to branding and advertising. Wow, even billboards, newspapers, if the foreign market of entry still do billboards and newspapers, posters, consultancy services. That's something New California does not have, consultancy services as an expense. And of course, compliance testing, trips, sales trips in foreign markets. These are really great, expenses if you live in New York. The grant is open and you can go ahead and apply. Let's take a look at Texas. Texas program is administered by the Texas Department of Agriculture. The deadline, it looks like right now it's closed. The funds for 2021 have been obligated, and the next application is anticipated to start in the summer of 2022. The award is up to $10,000, so more than California as well per funding period, but companies must pay 15% out of pocket. So to receive your $10,000 reimbursement from Texas, you'll have to spend $11,500, pay the 15% out of pocket to receive the $10,000. Since it's not open until summer 22nd, I think you could at least get in touch with the TDA office, learn about the application process, the qualification, and have it in your calendar, set a reminder for you to apply in the summer of 2022 when it reopens. Here's some of the export expenses in Texas. They do have a lot of website expenses related to e-commerce expansion, and it caps at $10,000. Marketing, media, advertising expenses capped at $6,000 as well. So just make sure you plan on how you spend the amount to make sure you are keeping in mind the cap amount for some of these activities. Great, so this is what I tell my clients. If you would like to apply for one of these STEP funds, first build your export and e-commerce plan. So you know where funds are needed the most today. Search the SBA directory for the STEP awardee in your state and locate the organization in charge of this program in your state. In the resources, you have a link to how to locate the organization in your state. Determine the country of interest, which country you like to enter, and make sure you have a plan for that particular country. And then which activities from the eligible STEP activities align with your export plan and your international marketing plan. Then you establish your eligibility. You follow the application guidelines and all the deadlines, the pre-approval instruction, deadlines, and information given to you by the STEP office. And this is the most important. Keep your communication with the STEP office clear at all times during the grant period. Sometimes you are ready to, you got pre-approved, let's say, for globalizing your website, but something happened, your attention was needed in a different areas of export promotion. If you are changing, if your export plan is changing, just let the STEP office know that you are going to use the funds in a different areas. As long as your communication is clear with the STEP office, you will be able to reallocate the fund in a different areas. Also know that your local SBDC center might be able to support you with the process of your STEP application, implementation, and the reimbursement. There's a lot of paperwork to be submitted, and your local SBDC office could support you with that. Just go to americassbdc.org and find your local SBDC office.